Hey, what's happening, Vinny?
I got great news for you today.
What's that?
I have a special return to the creep off.
Oh,
Yes, you're going to enjoy this. You ready?
yeah.
Hey everyone, Tucker Dixon here with your recap.
Oh, fuck.
Last week was 1978 week, which means I was robbed from using my 101 hilarious Billy Corgan joke book that I've had sitting around forever now. But in a weird twist, both guys brought in vampires. Carl's vampire was more of a foodie looking for some good eats. Get it? Because his first victim was Alton Brown, like the host of the Food Network show, Good Eats? Never mind.
Missed that.
Vinny's creep was more of a drinker, preferring to unwind at the end of the day with a Jack Russell and Coke. Now, some of you may be asking, why Tucker's sudden return? Do I need this attention? Did my wife's lifeless corpse finally stop stinking up my studio?
Probably not.
Or, as some of you may know, I'm a Jags fan.
Yep.
So you might be thinking, I'm just here to tease Carl about the Bills' loss to the Jags. And to all those people, I say, you're goddamn right I'm here to fucking tease Carl about his loss. Fuck you, Carl.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team.
The Bills make me wanna. Hey, everybody, let's get ready for a thrill. Make some noise for the Jaguars of Jacksonville. Beat your chest, pump your
Anyways,
fist, get ready
that's all I got
for
for
war.
this one. Tucker, out.
Attention parents, what you're about to see is not suitable for kids. Shoot, it's not even suitable for some grown-ups. You might want to walk away now if you ain't into these type of things.
I'm going to give the people what they want. Sensation, horror, shock.
I'm gonna deliver the goods because I'm alive and I'm not backing down. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Disgusting, vomit-inducing thing.
Hola, creepos. Welcome to another episode of your favorite true crime podcast, the show about creeps by creeps, for you creeps. My name is Vinny. I'm your host, and joining me today in the studio, as always, it's Hot Carl.
What is happening, Vinny Paulino? I like what Dylan from Somewhere has to say in our chat right here, talking about Tucker Dixon.
What did he have to
He's
say?
a jag hag. Correct, Dylan from Somewhere. God, as soon as I heard that asshole's voice, I knew where that was going.
So, you know, the Bills lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday in London, and it was a good thing that that game was early. So, you know, you could just still have the rest of your day, you know, to think about it.
Well, actually, you know what I did last night? I
What's
talked to Dr. Drew Pinsky about Stuttering John's alcoholism and narcissism.
Good.
And I'll be taking over for Anthony Cumia today and playing clips from that.
I forgot to
On the
ask you
Anthony
about
Cumia
that.
show.
You're doing Cumia's?
I am.
You're filling in for Cumia.
Yeah, me and Eric Zane are filling in for him
That's
today at
amazing.
Compound
We're going to
Media.
get some great creep off plugs on there. I can't wait
Yeah,
to hear
it's gonna be
those.
all creep off talk all the time.
Well, what are you going to talk about? Who are these broadcasters, you son of a bitch?
I'm going to be like, yeah, the reason why I wasn't able to prep more stuff is because Vinny just kept going on and on with this fucking creep. No one needs all the details, Vinny. It's a comedy show.
I have so many details
Of
prepared
course
for you
do.
folks.
We got to
today.
move quickly today. I got
What time do
things
you need to be out? What's your heart out?
Honestly, the sooner the better.
Why don't you
Vinny.
communicate that to me before the show? We could have started earlier. We could have done
it's
it fixed.
fine. It's fine. I'll be good. I'll be
Jesus
good.
Christ.
It's all good. I do want to say though that yeah, the Bills season's pretty much over at this point. We lost our two best defensive players in back-to-back weeks for the season, and so look at you grinning.
What?
Huh.
What'd I do?
Huh?
What?
Weird.
Well, yes, last week, motherfucker, you were singing a very different tune.
Yeah.
When you came in here going, oh, I didn't even prepare for the show because I was just watching the win over and over and over
Right,
again.
it was very exciting victory. They won by 28
So
points.
now I'm
against the
watching
team that
you.
you decided was
Now
the
I'm
best team
watching
ever.
you be a little sad, and it makes me smile. Why is that wrong?
All right, you know what? If you want to see me be a little bit more sad, why don't we bring in Jess and get some results from last week? Because it is 4-4 currently on the board.
The wheel's right behind
Yeah.
you spinning today.
Someone's spinning a wheel today, unless it's a tie. Is it a tie?
It's not a tie.
Not a tie.
It's actually pretty close, 54%.
Okay.
of the
All
vote.
right. That I might have pulled this one out then.
It was 191 to 60, and the winner was Vinny. Sorry, Carl.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you, creepos. We did the right thing.
191 to 160 was the final tally. Interesting. I might want to look through some of the metadata on that.
Please be my guest.
I might need to review some of that.
Yeah, see if you could get that done before you have to spin in about 20 minutes while we rush through the show. Hey, Carl, real quick.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about the consequences that are on the wheel.
Oh,
you
okay.
got
Jess,
the way.
Jess, I'm bouncing you out for 1 second. I'll bring you right back. Okay, this is what we currently have on there.
Okay.
Winner's choice is wheel spot number 1.
Well, hold on a second. We decided last time the knife edge chop thing we can't do.
Well, I changed it from knife edge chops to knife edge chop. You just got to take one.
Yeah, but either way, it's still a medical clearance thing. It's a medical issue.
All right.
But I'm not a professional wrestler. I don't know why
I'm changing it.
punching Carl is always on the wheel. I don't get this.
Because it's the most fun part.
He's such a weirdo. Whenever we jump off a 3-story building, that'd be funny.
Okay, we got 2 open spaces on the. Listen, folks, here's the deal. Because we now know Carl's spinning, here's what I want you to do. I want you just to send your suggestions in the chat of what we can fill these 2 open spots
sounds
with.
Good.
And then Carl can
I
decide
don't know why
which
you
2
didn't
go in that
remember
spot.
that we already.
I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Okay. It's okay.
I actually forgot. But you know what? It doesn't matter to me because I don't have to spin the wheel anyway. So
Yeah, I
I
know.
understand why you were upset about it, why you wanted to
Understood.
change.
All right.
I got you.
All right.
Jesus. Patreon and Supercast money goes to me until you win.
Yep.
Another
Yep,
open
yep,
spot. Now we have 2 open spots. $100 to Podcast Hitman. And then number 8 is the one you always want. Pass the spin, which would bring the spin right back to me.
Yes, that's what I'm rooting for. You didn't mention number 1 is winner's choice, so you get to pick anything you want on here.
Yep.
Number 2, which is what you got last time, if I'm not mistaken. Number 2 is a stand-up set written by Cardiff that I have to perform at an open mic. Number 3 is a murder and makeup video.
Yep.
And that's where I have to tell a true crime story while applying makeup on YouTube.
That is correct. Just like Bailey Sarian. You even have to sing your stupid song.
Oh, good.
Ba, ba, da, da. I can't wait, man. I think any of these will be endlessly entertaining.
Good.
You know what I would like to maybe put in there for number 4?
What's that?
How about 2-hour song marathon?
Okay.
No guests.
No guests. Okay.
No guests. How about that?
Someone's saying that I should have to OD on fentanyl. That could be a fun one.
Number 6 spot is still open, folks. You tell us what you think.
Smoke meth is always on there. That's always a fun one.
Yeah, we'll get back to those. Let's bring Jessica back. Jessica, what were people saying about last week's episode? I know you checked out our YouTube chat and our Reddit posts for this week. What are they saying?
On Reddit, the Puppeteer 11 said Chopper's letting another podcast do everything for him rather than actually making a case for his creep himself. Vinny Winnie, Carl Spinney.
Ooh, he was right.
Over on YouTube, this one just stood out to me. It was Eugene Neil Breen. Bark, bark, good show, bark, bark. His profile picture is a dog.
Oh,
thanks,
Eugene. Eugene's such a good boy.
Eugene, you're a good boy, Eugene.
Eisenwolf666. I probably butchered that, and I apologize. Oh boy, Vinny brought the big guns this week. Carl's creep is one creepy mofo, but Vinny is the whole madhouse. To make a comparison, Carl's is a good street performer. Vinny's the Cirque du Soleil with fireworks and fire-breathing topless ballerinas. What a pile of human waste.
All right. Yep. I brought a unicycle to a circus.
To a fucking carnival.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say this, guys. I'm thankful that all of you voted for us and voted for me, and that you even voted on the show to begin with, that you even watched the show to begin with.
Yes.
We're all in this for the
We
fun.
do appreciate that. And I like Nimrod's idea to fill up that. Drop an N-bomb on Kumia's show today. If I were to, would anyone notice? Is there anyone who would even notice if that happened?
Dylan from somewhere says, wear the AEW Britt Baker domestic violence shirt to a women's empowerment event. Which, if you haven't seen it, that...
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of that thing.
See if you can find that. I don't know what he's
that's
talking
pretty
about.
funny.
I'm guessing it wouldn't be good for me. Probably wouldn't be good for me.
Yeah, I don't even know if they still sell this thing.
I like Mikey's. Wear John's
is
socks for a week.
What's a jock sock?
No, John's socks.
Like his used socks?
Sounds like it.
No, thank you.
Okay, here it is, I believe, Carlos. Hold on. There it is. It's right there. The one with her with the black eye.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just wear the woman with the black eye t-shirt to a women's event.
Oh.
People
It doesn't
love
say
it.
anything on it?
No, it's no context, just a woman with the black eye.
Okay, so I'm not a good listener. Got it.
Yeah, well, she just needed to pay a little bit more attention in that match, or she wouldn't have ended up with that. Any more comments on there, Jessica?
Okay, I guess this one last one. Dread Seamus. Vinny destroyed Chompers, but F Vinny.
F Vinny, correct.
That's fine.
Thank you for that.
Guys, I'm sure that there will be a day when we all become friends again. March 11th. See you.
See you
I'll
then.
be friends. All right, Jess. Thank you so much. We got to keep things moving for Carl. And I guess, Carl, it means that you're spinning the wheel at the end of the show. Keep your
Right.
suggestions coming. And folks, I am going to start off the competition this week. It is Wildcard. That means it's all fair and game. Anybody we want to bring in. So, Carl, would you mind ringing that bell for me? All right, Carl, we're going to Mexico today. And I wanted to do this story a long time ago, and I never got around to it. But here we are. My creep today, her name is Juana Barraza.
Serial killer.
Correct. Juana grew up in poverty in North Mexico. I learned some fun things about her for those of you who've never heard this story. Her mother was an alcoholic who beat her at every single turn and opportunity that she had. Juana never learned to read or write. She didn't know her biological father.
No, you said Mexican. No, I know.
That ain't funny.
You're being very redundant over there.
Thank you for just not saying retarded. Her mother, Josta, basically was a real hardcore alcoholic. And when she was 13 years old, her mother sold Juana to a gentleman by the name of Jose Lugo, I'm sorry. And Jose Lugo gave Juana's mother 3 beers. And Juana's mother was like, here you go. She's all yours. And as a child later, she ends up describing it and saying, I really thought it was a joke. Like, I thought I was my mom was playing a fucking joke on me.
Well, it sounds like a bad trade, but what kind of beer are we talking about?
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis? All right, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like a Dos Equis.
I don't know. What's some other Mexican beer?
Well, Corona, I would be disappointed in that.
If it was a
Corona.
3 Coronas
yeah, that
for a
would not be
daughter.
good, yeah.
Yeah, not a good trade. Well, it's a great trade for him. Either way, she got strapped to a bed and raped for about 5 years. Yeah, had to have a couple abortions, then ended up having the son of this guy. And the whole time she just was like silent. She wasn't allowed to speak.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, very, very bad. So her family didn't even realize what was going on because the mom lied to them and said, no, she just wanted to go with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And when family found out that the mom was just a drunk liar, they went and rescued her and brought her back. She's 18 at this point. She has a baby, and now she has to figure out how to make a living for herself, Carl.
Okay.
Now, what would you do if you were a Mexican woman at that point?
Kick the baby. Don't kick the baby.
I don't know. What would
That's one option.
I don't know. What would I
option.
do? Prostitution, perhaps?
No. She started selling popcorn at the wrestling matches, Carl. That's right. She started going down and watching all the Lucha Libres.
How does that pay?
Not well.
I wouldn't imagine.
And that's why she decided that she was going to work hard and become a famous Lucha Libre herself. And that is when she donned the tights and became known as La Dama del Silencio, the woman of silence.
Do you want to save up more money for a mask there? That is terrible.
And she's supposed to be a heel, and she's dressed like a pink Power Ranger with a butterfly mask.
It's not great.
So during the 80s and 90s, this is what she did. She went from town to town being a wrestler. And she also didn't get paid very much to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So her and a friend kind of came up with a new little side hustle that they wanted to do. And what they started doing was buying lists of the names of women on government assistants that also receive government nursing care. Now, this is around 1998. Okay. So what they would do is they would dress up like nurses, go to the house and do like bullshit blood pressure checks on people, encase the joint, wait till it's empty, figure out what to take, figure out what the security was. And they were basically burglarizing homes.
Nice.
Not really. Because eventually what ended up happening was she broke her leg horrifically in the ring and her career ended.
Was it from a knife edge chop?
Nope.
No.
You pussy. It sure wasn't. So now she can't wrestle anymore and she's just out there in the world trying to fend for herself. And I got to tell you, let me show you a picture of what she looked like without that wrestling mask on.
Yeah, attractive lady.
No, not really. So she decides she's going into the burglary game full time, Carl.
Okay.
So she puts on the nurse's outfit one day. And November 25th, 1998, in fact, she went to the apartment of a woman named Maria de la Gonzalez Anaya, and she started doing her fake exam, casing the place. And apparently this woman said something that offended her. So that is when Juana beat the ever-living shit out of this old woman who was about 72 years old.
Okay.
And then choked her to death with her stethoscope.
That's fun.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, it's, improv. Sometimes you're not preparing what you're going to do. You got to just come up with it on the fly.
Yeah. So this little fucking stumpy professional wrestler, she's talking shit to, and she murders her with the stethoscope cord. Now, a lot of people would be very upset after what they'd done, but I think Juana had a lot of pent up anger.
Yeah, probably.
She's very upset. Her career's over. She's pissed. She's got to do this stuff. She got raped for 5 years, for Christ's sake.
That's not great.
Yeah. So interesting fact, around 1998 in Mexico City, old women were found ruthlessly murdered in their homes quite often.
Okay.
Starting in 1998.
Again, doesn't surprise me, but.
Well, the victims, here's the thing though, in Mexican culture, you don't fuck with the abuela. Okay?
Yeah.
The abuela is beloved. That's who you fuck up grandpa. You don't fuck with abuela.
Yeah.
So the cops start noticing how many women are disappearing and how similar the circumstances are. They're all being beaten and strangled. And they start taking fingerprints, and they're finding that these fingerprints are matching, but they don't want to tell anybody that there's a serial killer killing grandmothers.
Oh, good.
They don't want to alert because they don't want there to be any more problems in Mexico. There's
Right.
the drinking water, the poverty, the overpopulation. You add a serial killer into that, it's a fucking powder keg.
Sure.
So they weren't going for that, Carl. And even the guy who was the mayor of Mexico City was running for president of Mexico against Vicente Fox. And Vicente Fox was going, someone's just murdering grandmothers in your city. And he's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. And he had to argue this in a debate.
Denying problems is something that politicians are very good at.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a good strategy, I would imagine.
So over a few years, because now we're talking around 2001, 2002, they have figured out what's going on. The police have put together a theory as to how all of these grandmothers are dying. And their theory was that a transvestite or gay man was dressing up like a nurse and going to these places and murdering these women.
Why the hell was that their theory, Vinny?
Because Juana is a stumpy, dumpy looking lady.
Okay. They have video footage of her or something?
No, just eyewitnesses. They go,
eyewitnesses. Okay.
They go, oh, that's her. So long story short, Carl.
She's not the only stumpy old lady in Mexico, though, is she?
No, but they thought it was a dude. They said they dressed in a nurse's outfit. They literally thought she was so ugly that she was a man. And this is the news reports that were going around there, that there was a dude who was dressed up. In fact, they started rousing up trans people and they arrested 49 trans people.
About time. I mean, that's terrible.
And then their fingerprints didn't match, so they released them.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people got arrested for this shit. And then in 2005, Juana murdered an 82-year-old woman named Camila Gonzalez, and her son was a very famous criminologist. So he shows up. He's like, what the fuck have you idiots been doing?
Right.
We got to start laying traps for this person. Now, Carl, the Mexican police aren't that good at their jobs.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay. Why is that?
Because all these women are dying in their houses. They're being murdered inside their houses. So what this guy's great idea was, let's pay a bunch of old ladies to sit around the park and wait to see if somebody murders them.
Yeah, that's not a great strategy.
It was not a great
Not a good
strategy
plan.
for the circumstances that were happening.
That's not going to help.
Now, On January 23rd, 2006, a guy comes walking home and he sees a woman walk out of the apartment of his landlord, sees her walking out, sees the door open and sees the landlord on the floor dead as the woman's walking out. Just gets this brief glance of it, starts screaming for help. Screaming about cops around the corner. They arrest Juana, right?
Okay.
They're able to tie her to 16 different murders from fingerprints. But they found trophies at this woman's house that she kept. She wasn't even robbing a lot of these people. She was just taking something as a fucking trophy. They think she killed about 60 fucking old ladies.
Okay. Wow.
And they found out.
Shouldn't take a lot of days off then.
She was doing fucking wrestling moves on them when she was beating them.
Of course, I would imagine.
She was doing fucking hurricane radas on old ladies in their living room and then strangling them to death.
Little sleeper hold action.
Yeah. La Dama del Silencio rides again. But she ends up getting convicted of 16 different murders. She's believed to kill up to 59 people. She was sentenced to 759 years in prison. And I really think that makes her a big-time creep. So let's start this contest off right and vote for Vinny this week at thecreepoff.com. Carl, go ahead.
They thought that it was like a serial killer.
All right. Well, you brought a Mexican serial killer who was also a wrestler. Fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
I have a very unique creep this week as well, Vinny.
I can't wait.
I've decided to bring a creep that came to prominence back in January of this year. It is a 6-year-old boy who shot his teacher and tried to murder her.
This isn't the hero off, Carl.
This is Rich Neck Elementary School in Newport News, Virginia, which I believe is very close to where our friend Vic lives these days. And, well, I'll let you play the first clip here because new documents have come to light from this case.
This is the first clip.
I remember him pointing the gun at me. I remember the look on his face.
Tonight, a chilling and newly unsealed account of the moments after investigators say a 6-year-old Virginia boy shot first-grade teacher Abby Zwerner in her classroom back in January.
I remember the gun going off. I remember feeling something. It was a pretty scary day.
According to a probable cause statement obtained by NBC's Portsmouth affiliate Wavy, a school rating specialist restrained the boy after he shot Zwerner in the chest and hand. She told police he said, quote, "I shot that expletive dead. I did it. And I got my mom's gun last night."
So this
Andy blew in his mom. Wow.
This 6-year-old looks at his teacher, pulls out a gun, shoots her, drops the gun and goes, "Yeah, I shot that bitch. I did it. I got my mom's gun last night." He's all braggadocious and everything.
Wow. And you know what? I got to say something. My first impression of this teacher, I'm not impressed. She's probably pretty boring.
Yeah.
Did you listen to her describe getting shot?
It could have been more exciting, I would imagine.
I felt something.
Yeah. Like what? Like a bullet?
She's a
penetrate your hand and chest? Because that's what happened.
Yeah. I mean, you would think that she would be like, and then the next thing I know is I felt a hot sting and I looked out and there was blood. I felt something.
Not everyone's a performer, Vinny.
It's a bad teacher.
Some people are just teachers, you know.
Boring.
So
boring.
The new documents that just came out show that it was a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, and the mother, Deja Taylor, left it in her purse. And she swore, "Oh no, I lock it up. I have it all locked up. It's a place where my son can't get it." And she says on the morning of the shooting, January 6th of this year, Taylor believed the gun was in her purse with the trigger lock installed and left on top of the bedroom dresser. She added that the key for the lock is kept under the bed mattress. But apparently that's not the case.
Right at kid level. Perfect.
Don't you think that if you had a 9mm gun in your purse and then one day it wasn't there, you would notice? I don't know how big this purse is, but a 9mm's got some weight to it.
I don't know, man. My wife has got some purses that are huge. Like you could fit an AR in there.
Okay, but you would notice if the AR was missing.
Yeah, but
imagine.
you wouldn't notice if the 9mm was. This is my point.
So, unsealed records of Abby Zwerner's statement to police at the hospital said that when the boy drew the weapon from his pocket and pointed at her, asked, "What are you going to do with that?" Zwerner told authorities the boy paused, then fired the one shot that struck Zwerner in the left hand and upper torso. Zwerner fled the classroom to the school office. She obviously
You're so getting written up for this.
Yeah, she suffered the gunshot wound. She had to have 4 different surgeries from this gunshot wound. Now, this is the crazy thing. Amy Korvac, a reading specialist at the school, heard the gunshots and ran in, restrained the student until the police arrived. So I grabbed the 6-year-old, brought him over towards the phone, called 911, and the police came. And it was at that time when the kid was being all braggadocious and yelling, "Oh, yeah, I did it. I shot that bitch dead. She dead now. I got her."
Dude,
so
this is insane.
This is insane. It's a 6-year-old. This kid, there's no fixing.
And I'm
this kid.
picturing it, and in my mind, I'm going, "Wow!" And this teacher ran out of the room after being shot in the chest.
Yeah. So,
and then another teacher comes in and grabs this kid.
You would think that if you hear a gunshot, you are running in the opposite direction. So props
but
to
it's
this
also a
reading
6-year-old. So like,
I
know I could take a 6-year-old.
Not with not this kid. Not with a gun. Not when this kid's got a gun.
Now you throw a chair at a 6-year-old, they're going right over. They're little still. You know?
Well, according to Amy, he actually has a good shot too. He took one shot and he hit her. And according to Amy, while I was holding him, he told me he had gotten his mom's gun the night before and put it in his backpack. He also told me he only had time to load 1 bullet. Well, gosh, that's a shame. Time management skills.
Well, the
right?
bell rang.
Time management skills when you're 6. Am I right, people? All right, so let's find out what's going on.
I could finish watching Blue's Clues, or I could finish loading the
Right,
gun.
Yeah, I mean, I already got 1 bullet in there. It should be enough.
Jesus Christ.
If you play my track CO2, we'll find out more about this kid.
Child has had severe emotional issues. He is in therapy and improving daily. We wish to thank the dedicated professionals working with him. The boy's mother, Deja Taylor, speaking to ABC News in May.
Do you feel in any way responsible for the shooting?
Yes, of course.
Correct answer. Your 6-year-old son took your gun, brought it to school, and shot his teacher with it. You are very much responsible for this.
It's hard to argue you're not. So I'm proud of her for being honest.
So the boy suffers from emotional issues. You think? He's pretty fucking angry at his teacher there. Seems like he's got some emotional issues he's got to deal with.
Emotional, time management.
Yep, there's a lot of things.
And anger.
With.
All issues.
All right, play my third video here.
Coming up.
She alleges the boy had a known history of violence, as we know. And these documents also, in addition to what you heard about in that piece, they also detail a past incident when a kindergarten teacher alleges that boy strangled her from behind until she couldn't breathe. And the suit's defendants, by the way, we should add, again, this is talking about the known history of violence here. They're not commenting on this kind of latest document dump.
Okay.
This is a 6-year-old. He should not have a history of violence.
He has a history of violence. The police actually asked for all the records. The school won't hand them over. They don't want to show that they're negligent. This woman's suing them for $40 million.
That's not what the principal said. The principal said, we would give them to you, but your truck isn't big enough for all of them.
Right. Have to put them on microfiche.
You need to get a U-Haul, or we're just going to have to spend some time scanning.
So this kid's a fucking problem. According to CNN, so the authorities spoke to that teacher that she was talking about that he tried to strangle. And she described it as he walked behind her while she was sitting in the chair and placed both his arms around her neck, pulling down, choking her to the point where she could not breathe. She's sitting in her chair. He comes up behind her and grabs her and tries to choke her to death in the classroom. The teacher's assistant had to forcibly remove the student from the classroom to get him off the teacher. So if the assistant wasn't there, who knows what would have happened? You know, they could really remake that movie,
little
Problem
motherfucker.
Child.
Well, yeah, this motherfucker sounds like he clamped on like a boa constrictor and just wouldn't let go.
And dude, I am telling you, I don't know what's going to happen with this kid, but we should really just put him down, right? This is like Biden's dog biting everyone. Like, we just got to put it down, try again. There's going to be other children that'll be cute and fun that can grow up to be adults, not this one.
Yeah, let's not give that lady any more of them either.
Yeah, that's a good point as well.
Let's
so
just...
I think that anytime you have a 6-year-old boy who steals his mom's gun, brings it to school, and shoots his teacher and is proud of it and happy about it, we got a creep on our hands, people. Vote for Carl at thecreepoff.com.
That's right. You can vote thecreepoff.com. The poll will be up later today, and we hope that you will take us up on that. Carl, let's hit up some super chat, shall we?
Let's definitely
Let's
do
start
that.
off with the king, David Chandler.
Oh, David Chandler. Hold on. He's got to get a special one from us.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Thanks for the super chat. There's David Chandler, Gandhi, Jesus, and Abraham Lincoln. David fits right in with this group.
Yes, he does. David Chandler for $20. Failed math and murder.
Hysterical. De La says,
Vote Carl. $2 from Dela. Thank you, Dela.
Next picks. Thanks for the Canadian 279. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Screw Columbus Day. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving to you too.
Is
sir.
Canadian Thanksgiving the same as our Thanksgiving, where they get a 4-day weekend and they spend all one of those days just drinking and eating the whole time?
I hope so.
Yeah, it's really is the best holiday.
Good for them.
It really is the best.
Have a great
If
time.
you are in a country that doesn't have Thanksgiving, I feel bad for you. There's football on all day long. Your wife's in the kitchen cooking the whole time. You're just getting fed beers and food. It's great.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Football all day long has been the greatest thing in the world for me.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm just glad that people take that one day a year to really appreciate it. Uncle Savvy Poo, $4.99. I've got a joke to lighten the mood. If Stuttery John was a Bond villain, his name would be Dr. No Deodorant.
Boom! Wow.
All
Roasted. How you gonna recover from that one, Stuttering John?
Boom! Knock, knock. All right.
You gotta love Vinny Carlino.
I haven't talked to him at all.
No.
He called me the other night and I didn't answer because I was at a thing. And I've heard nothing from him. And I didn't hear from him at all last week. I haven't talked to John in 9 days.
Okay. I mean,
roughly 9 days.
Not talking to someone is not something you need to report back to us.
Well,
Vinny.
I just want to say I'm a little concerned because I didn't realize so much stuff was going on.
Well, he's in Jamaica right now, so it'd probably be expensive for him to call you.
Oh.
Did you see that?
See what?
I don't want to get into a whole Stuttering John thing, but for whatever reason, after his YouTube channel was taken down for a week, John decided to own all the trolls by saying, I don't care. I'm taking my girl to Jamaica for a week. I'll be back. And then he decided to post pictures of Jamaica on Twitter, but he had just gotten there that day and there was already a photo of the pool at nighttime. And then another photo of a restaurant where there was a sign in the background promoting something from 2019. Like, you can't get past the sleuths on the internet. They will figure out that you're lying. There were no photos that had him in it or his girlfriend. It was just photos he found of Jamaica in random places.
My advice to you, John, find a Jamaican newspaper, hold it up and take a picture.
Yeah, holy shit.
It's about the only chance you got for anybody to believe you at this
so
point.
Stupid.
Oh, no.
Anyway, Vinny, I got a fun treat for us today.
Oh, good.
You know, typically we do a little thing called Who Are These Creepos? We've been taking a break from that because these true crime shows are grating on me, and I've been watching some cop cam stuff and been enjoying that. And I have one today that maybe is a little bit of a departure from what the creep off is, but I think we have some younger viewers. I think this is a really good lesson that we're going to learn today about how to treat authorities when you get pulled over and authorities are telling you did something wrong. It's good to be respectful, because if you're not, bad things can happen to you. I have a great example of that today. Go ahead.
One thing to remember, everybody, before we do this, is the police have a lot of leeway on how to deal with you in a situation.
Correct. And they will let you know that too, because there's a lot of people now with the internet who think they know their rights, that everyone thinks they're delete laws now. And they think they can yell the Constitution, and the cops going, oh, sorry, never mind. Go about your day, sir. I forgot about that Constitution. Like, that's not the case. So there's this guy named Deputy Frank Slope, and he has this thing called Fridays with Frank. Now, the only thing that's annoying about this, it's overly produced.
It's a douchey name. And
yeah, it's overly produced. This guy thinks he's a star, and there's music in the background, but it is good, though. It is enjoyable.
All right, Fridays with Frank. Shall we start?
Let's do
First clip.
56 and tinted windshield.
Oh,
really?
Fuck off.
What's up, man?
Blue Mustang.
How you doing? That's
Good,
actually not true. See your driver's license.
What did I do?
Let me see your driver's license.
Film me, Mom. Come, I'm getting harassed. Don't touch my car.
Getting harassed.
What did I do? I wasn't speeding. I was following my mother.
Okay.
So
Do you know what? Let me see your driver's license.
What was I doing?
I'm not going to ask you again, or I'm going to put my hands on you. Let me see your driver's license.
Dad, can you come here? I have it. Stop. Just give me my phone.
There we go. So,
What am I
posted
doing?
speed limit. Well, you're in public, so there's no expectation of privacy. No, there's not. There is not in public. So you're in a. Did I say run anything?
Okay, can you just talk instead of being a...
So he goes, can you just fucking talk instead of being a dick like a bitch?
Well, this kid is a bitch.
Yeah, I know.
But this cop is also kind of a bitch.
Yeah, but all right.
So I think
This
what we're
guy's-
about to see is an entertaining bitch fight.
Yes, this guy's kind of a douche, as we kind of established here. But this kid is like, I think he's on the phone with his mom or something because he was getting pulled over. So you could see him like ducking back into his car and going, "Mom, I'm being harassed." The cop's like, "What do you mean you're being harassed? You're being pulled over is what you're being right now."
What was it? I mean, I felt like he was about to finish that sentence with "call the police," but then
right. Yeah, he's like, "Oh shit, I don't want more of them here."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Dad, you got to get over here." So he's already crying to his parents. And this is what's so weird about this generation. And I know I sound like an old man, but really, your kids got to grow the fuck up. I know you want to live with your folks until you're 32 years old and you want them to solve all your problems and go to your job interviews with you, but you really got to just become adults at some point.
My YouTube algorithm has been showing me a lot of these videos.
Yeah.
And one of the number one things I've been getting, a lot of drunk drivers being pulled over, a lot of young kids, and all of them say the same thing. Let me call my mom. I have the right to call my mom.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of girls too. They all think that their mom's going to save them when they're blowing a .23 and they're 17 years old driving at 2 a.m. It's like, no, your mom's not going to be able to help you with this.
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Don't you understand the patriarchy at all? Your mom can't.
Why
help
are
you.
people afraid of their parents? I would rather be detained by police than to have my parents be involved when I was this age.
Because mom and dad defend their kids to no end now.
Insane.
There's nothing that their little precious child does wrong.
It's
everybody else.
insane. All right, so
all right.
Now he's going to say in my next one here, he's going to try to make the defense that I was just driving like everybody else, officer. I don't know why I'm getting singled out here.
The reason I stopped you is you were in a 35-mile-per-hour construction zone at 55 miles per hour.
How many other cars?
I don't care how many other cars were there. And then you also have a tinted windshield, which is also illegal. So I need to see registration, current proof insurance, please.
I bought my car like this.
So fuck what?
You just like stop hovering over me?
No.
I'm gonna wait till my parents leave.
Okay. So he asked him for license, registration, proof of insurance, like they always do. You got to get your trifold out. You got to show them the cops this stuff. This kid is going, no, I'm going to wait till my parents get here. What? You got to wait for your parents to get here to give the police officer what he's asking you for? And then the tint thing is hilarious.
You did not buy your car like that.
Well, he could have bought it off of someone else who tinted the
Sure.
windshield, but it doesn't make it less illegal.
Yeah.
It's
I
the
know.
dumbest argument ever.
My nephew wants to be a cop.
Yes.
And he has all of his windows fucking did in his car. And I'm like, are you out of your what are you doing?
What are you doing? You're just gonna get pulled over.
Why? You want to like make friends with the guy who pulls you over? What are you trying to do?
Also, the police officer here, what he's doing, and I see this tactic a lot, because this kid is acting like he did nothing wrong. So he's just finding everything wrong that he's doing and letting him know, like, listen, I can get you a ticket for this, a ticket for that, a ticket for this. When the police start doing that, they want you to start negotiating. All right. They're not going to write you about those tickets if you're just like, you know what? I'm in the wrong here. I can get the tint removed. I promise, whatever it is you got to say. That's when you got to start negotiating.
It's illegal. I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, I
'cause
was
it
not
came
aware
with
of
the
that,
car
officer.
like that.
Yes.
So what is the rule? How can I get this into compliance?
It's that fucking easy. But this idiot. So now his mom shows up in my next clip here. Mom to the rescue.
Oh, Christ. Mom actually shows up.
Yep.
If you're curious about what's wrong with society, it is absolutely everything about this stop. So it is this arrogant, condescending attitude. It is. Hi.
This is my son.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We just got
filming me.
It's okay. It's okay.
And you know this one's
Okay.
I just had a death. It's we're going back home to Gilbert.
Okay. He's speeding and he's going to get a ticket. That's it. You are not free to go. Get back in your car.
Where's he going? He's walking away.
You started touching. You opened my door.
No, I didn't.
So now this kid's making up lies when he was being
touched
filmed.
my car.
He touched my car.
He touched my car, though.
He opened my door. He said,
Can we go to the Supreme Court, Mom? He touched
how
my
funny
car.
that his parents show up and this kid's instinct is cool. Now I can go grab a burger or something. He just starts walking away.
If I was the dad, I'd ask to borrow the cop's gun so I could just pistol whip this little fucking idiot.
It's insane.
Wow.
And so you can tell the parents are not helping in any single way.
Oh, the little prince. Okay, let's see what happens.
And I don't know if you
next.
heard this, but his mom said he's having a bad day. Officer, he's having a bad day.
Who
Give him
gives
a
a
break.
shit? Who gives a fuck?
Give him a break.
Listen, also, by the way, what did you say this cop's name was?
His name is Frank Slope.
Okay. It's spelled really dumb. I just saw it on his name tag.
SL. It's like soup with an L.
Sloop.
Yeah, I know.
Frank Sloop.
He pronounces it slope though.
So, and saying that he hopes
Disgusting
that my
noise.
daughter dies, that right there is unacceptable. Okay, that's unacceptable under any circumstances ever. So if you could just kind of try to control him while I take care of some business here, I sure would appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Wow. I don't even have words. Unbelievable.
return.
Oh, and he's suspended. And he's admin per se suspended, which means it's criminal. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
All right. So this idiot who's mouthing off to the cop, thinks his mommy and dad are going to save him, has a suspended license because he has a DUI drug arrest. This kid's already been arrested, and he's mouthing out to this. He's not learning lessons, this kid.
Do mom and dad know about that?
I don't know at this point. I would imagine they do, because this kid obviously runs to mommy and daddy all the time. So
this is he said, I hope that your daughter dies.
Yeah, the kid said that to the officer. Not a smart move. If you ask me, you're gonna piss people off with that. Talking about my kids. You're gonna piss people off. All right. So now he's explaining all the tickets that he's writing up for this guy. And I think they focus on the wrong thing here. They get really bogged down in nonsense.
Oh, are you saying that these parents aren't too bright either?
No, they're not.
Good.
How old is he?
He's 19.
Oh,
19.
Okay, so
Which is because
he's an adult and he's got adult stuff. So can I talk to him, please? Did you happen to see the 35-mile-per-hour signs that were there?
No, sir. I thought it was a 45.
Okay, they're big. They're posted on the side of the road there.
He's standing next to
I was
it.
paying attention to the road.
Yep. I get it. Your first citation is criminal in nature, so it's a class 2 misdemeanor for driving while your license is suspended, revoked, or canceled. Your second one is a work zone speed violation with workers present. So there's workers present here in this construction zone. That's why it's here. And then fail to produce evidence of financial responsibility simply means that you didn't provide current proof of insurance as requested. And then I asked for it. You just
We have insurance. I have it.
okay. I asked you for it. You didn't provide it.
I was trying to find it. I don't know all
Okay.
this stuff. We have it. We have insurance. That's not true.
Okay, but the fact of the matter is
I was trying to look for it. He was pressed.
but I asked him.
Lawyer. I have
it's
a lawyer.
okay. Yeah.
I asked him once.
Okay.
I don't
do
have
you?
to ask a whole bunch of times. I simply asked for the information that's requested, and it wasn't provided.
You might recall that when he asked him for this, the kid's response was, "I'm waiting for my parents to get here." So now they just told him this is a misdemeanor charge. It's a criminal charge that I have for you. Also the tint, also proof of insurance. Like, I have insurance. Like, okay, whatever. That's fine. I'm sure you can bring that to court and get that thrown out. That's not the problem here. These guys are arguing over the insurance thing.
I like how the
Gives
dad
a
is
shit.
screaming, I have a lawyer. I have a lawyer.
Yeah,
Great.
I know.
You might want to
Good.
have them show up at
Have
court.
fun with that. Okay. All right. And then this is the last clip that I had, because this dummy really does not understand that you can buy a car from someone with things on it that are illegal.
And then the other thing is having improper material on your windows and or windshield. Obviously, having any sort of tint on your windshield's illegal. And when you drove by, I couldn't see. I had no idea how many people were in here because it was all black because it's illegally tinted. There's no stipulation in Arizona state law for transfer of a vehicle. Fact of the matter is that there's material on the window.
So these parents suck. They're like, no, it's okay. That's how we bought it. It's okay. What do you know, ma'am? That it's not okay. It has nothing to do with anything. You retard. So I know, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm defending police officers. Uncle Sammy Poo has a super chat here. Carl's new nickname should be Carl Bootburger with how much he loves the authorities. Boom. I know.
You put an N on the end.
I
of that
hate
boom.
being on this side of things, but these kids are such retards.
Is Vince
Smart
his
enough.
lawyer?
Probably.
Your Honor, you can't blame him. He bought the car like that. Okay, guys. That was this week's Code Blue Cam. Where can we follow Frank? Fridays with Frank. He's got his own channel.
Yeah, check out Fridays with Frank on YouTube. You'll find that.
He might get a subscription from me. He is sarcastic enough. I'm going to send you one, and I'll send it to you for next week. I'll get
Great.
you ahead. You're going to love it, and I'll even give the tease here. Young girl, 18, shoplifting, claims that it's because she has a condition.
Is she attractive?
No.
Oh.
Not the condition you want, not Tourette's. All right, let's
Okay, yeah.
let's hit
Is it
some-
Winona Ryder?
Nope.
No, okay.
Definitely
bummer.
not. Like maybe a character in Beetlejuice.
Okay, a different one, yeah.
Let's hit up some voicemails are brought to us by our friends in Syracuse.
The Creep Off voicemail segment is brought to you by the City of Syracuse. A court has ordered that the downtown Columbus statue can be removed. We don't care so much about the atrocities. We just thought it'd be cheaper than changing all our science books to say that the world is round. See you in Syracuse.
All right.
Dude, that
folks.
reminds me. I put out a video with Eddie Bravo talking to Roseanne Barr about the Earth is flat.
Yeah, I need to watch that one. It's in
Dude,
my...
the comments on my YouTube, I got to bring that to Anthony's show today. The comments on my YouTube channel, I'm just like, Carl, you're a fucking idiot. You don't realize that the Earth is flat because of blah, 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 and deep. I was like, are these people also joking or what is going on right now? It seems like there's a lot of flat earthers out there.
Yeah. Well, if you're a flat earther and you're watching this show, please let us know why.
Yeah, call in.
I would love to know. I would love to know. Carl, this
have
is
you guys done that on subreddit surfing yet?
Flat earthers, no, but it is on our short list.
Yeah, you got to do that. You'll probably get someone who wants to call in for that.
Yeah. Tonight we're doing something fun tonight, you'll see.
Cool.
Had to vote for Carl. Richard Chase was framed.
No, sir, I don't believe he was.
Yes.
Nope.
Good call.
Nope.
Got that right.
This is one of my favorite voicemails I've ever heard. It actually makes me proud of this show.
Dear Jesus, I'm just calling to ask forgiveness for my sins. I'm a good person. Yes, I did laugh at somebody stabbing a dead person in the asshole, shoving dog shit in their mouth, and calling the murder of a 1-month-old shooting fish in a barrel. But I'm a nurse. I take care of people. I'm a good person, I promise. Thank you.
You're welcome. That just made me laugh. I
That's
realized,
great.
like, we really did present that in an entertaining way. Here's somebody who voted for you. Too bad they were wrong.
Hey, Carl. Hey, Vinny. So I'm voting for Carl this week, mainly because, as per usual, Vinny has taken the easy way out and brought in a subject that has been done to death on every other true crime podcast in history of the world, Richard Chase. That, and I think working with Stuttering John is probably worse than not wanting to go to Gary, Indiana, because that place is a shithole, but I can't understand wanting to work with John. So, yeah, that's all I got. Don't call me back.
Okay, let me ask you a
Great
hypothetical.
points. 2 great points, sir.
Let me ask you a hypothetical for the wheel of consequences. For
Okay.
today. Just a hypothetical.
Way to dox all our callers.
Jesus Christ.
It's fine. It's fine.
You're right. The stand-up set written by Cardiff.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if I just had you open for John doing your stand-up set?
I'm not allowed. I am not allowed in the building,
But
sir.
let me ask you this question. Let's say if I was to smooth that out.
Oh, I got to get an FVP chant going here.
If I were to
Chant's going
smooth that out,
Yeah.
would you open for Stuttering John performing the stand-up set that Cardiff writes for you? Because that will heavily influence my decision if it's a winner's choice.
I mean,
if you are safe, of course. If we can guarantee your safety.
well, could I do it? Could I do it the night before subreddit survey or something? I don't want to be in the building with John. that
Sure,
day.
no problem.
I'm not joking about
I just threw that at you.
I
I
don't
was
wanna-
fucking
I don't
around.
want to see him. I don't want to
No
talk
problem.
to him.
No problem. You do
I have
whatever
no
you
interest in it at all.
want. Okay. Well, that's what would make it a consequence.
No,
That's what would make it
okay.
fun.
All right. If
No, it's fine. I'm sorry. You balked. You're good. Don't worry about it, Carl.
it's just that John really doesn't want me there, and I know that
know.
you're his best buddy, and you could maybe smooth things over for me. If you want to try, you can try.
I just want all my friends to be friends.
I know you do, buddy. You're a good guy.
Gabe, I don't know. It's just my lot in life to be an unfunny fat guy.
Oh,
It's
man.
fucking great.
Getting beat up over here.
Gives a shit.
And yet you vote for him. And yet these same retards. Any more voicemails over there?
Yeah. We had a lot of voicemails this week.
Carl, if you're just going to pick the biggest creep born in 1978, you should have picked James Corden. Thank you, fuck you, bye.
Good
That's a
point.
Very good point.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Here's one from our pal DP.
Hey guys, your old pal DP. I would like to renominate my fucking ex-wife for the creep of lifetime. I called back a little while ago because she ended up taking my social security number and opening fucking accounts and shit. Now she's putting my phone number in like Craigslist and shit saying free Xbox.
I mean, that's
you know how many fucking calls a day I'm getting? This bitch needs to die. And the worst part is it's not legal. It's legal for her to do this somehow, but I can't just go like choke the life out of her. I haven't talked to her in over 10 fucking years. Women are crazy. Fucking Italian women are the worst. Did you fuck you by?
Problem is he's not legally allowed to choke the shit out of her. That's too bad. What
Oh,
a country.
Jesus
Dude, I'm
Christ.
sorry to hear that. That sounds
You know, that might be a great consequence. Free Xbox with your
there
phone
you go.
number. Free
Yeah.
Xbox. Oh no. That'd be funny. All right. We got a bunch of voicemails today, and I'm trying to make sure I had them. You know what? I'm gonna call it. We got all of them are very long. You guys got to keep the 45-second rule, please.
Yeah,
Remember when you
yeah,
leave a
we can't be-
voicemail,
can't be that
unless
long.
it's a creep report, unless you're reporting a creep,
sure.
45 seconds. Okay, guys? You're all very guilty of violating that rule, so therefore we are moving on to the Scum Parade.
Scum Parade, take me on a raid of these fuck charades that these creeps have made. Scum Parade, Vinny and Carl gonna tell you about some fuck shit. Scum Parade, like stories of a kid fucked by his mom or dad, soaking up the blood of a cat. Scum Parade.
Carl, have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
No, I haven't. And it's odd what they're known for, but I'll let you start off here.
Well, Buc-ee's is a convenience store for those of you who don't know what it is. I've never been to one. I don't know where they are. If you have been to one, fill me in the chat. So the son of Buc-ee's convenience store's co-founder has been arrested for secretly recording dozens of guests at his father's multi-million-dollar Texas lake house. Michael Wasik, he's 28 years old. He's facing 28 separate state jail felony charges for invasive visual recordings. He allegedly recorded at least 13 people using bathrooms in the $8.2 million lake house and other properties.
Can you get herpes by filming people? Did you see the photo of this kid?
This guy's got herpes sores
all over his face.
Like, oh my God. Like, I imagine his face looks like what I imagine a hooker's vagina looks like.
Yes.
It is just
imagine.
Bumpy, very bumpy. He's accused of secretly recording males and females using toilets, showering, changing clothes, and or having sex. A woman said her and some friends were visiting the property when Mitchell Wessick, one of the group members who works in the cybersecurity department for the Department of Defense, spotted a charging port with a concealed camera plugged into the wall of their bathroom.
That's the problem. You can never rent to people in cybersecurity because they're all a bunch of tattletales. All of them.
That's all they care
That's all
about.
they do.
The group departed with the camera and discovered on its microcard dozens of videos of themselves and others in bedrooms and bathrooms at the lake house in the Dallas apartment. They were unaware that the recordings existed in the bedroom and bathroom. They indicated they did not consent to being recorded or photographed. The woman informed the Travis County Sheriff's Department that the police report was filed with the Dallas cops, and the camera and micro SD were turned over to them. A warrant was obtained to review the contents of the camera, discovered 68 movies files holding at least 13 males and females being recorded using toilets, like I said. A woman said she and some friends, wow, I fucking double fucked up my shit. The group departed with the camera, the woman informed the and now he is being charged. I fucked up.
So the best part is that
fat, unfunny, and dumb, folks.
They talk
the
about
trifecta.
They talk about what Buc-ee's is, this convenience store, is chain of convenience stores.
Yeah.
And it says it's a store best known for their clean bathrooms.
Yeah.
So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If the father was obsessed with bathrooms, the kid's obsessed with bathrooms.
That's the only defense.
They're like, how do we get a bunch of strangers in here using the bathroom? I don't know, sell them cola or something. We got to give them something because we got to get these guys in here peeing.
It's the only defense you could have. I had a camera in there to make sure that the bathroom was properly cleaned.
It's so bizarre. It was just a weird twist. We did miss some super chats. If you want to get caught up real quick,
let's do it.
I believe it was, starting Uncle Sammy Poo. Happy Leif Erikson Day. Hinga Dinga Durgan. Nimrod 71, Jafeka.
Okay. David Chandler needs to adopt that 6-year-old. No way.
Oh, that would be a funny consequence. Now the listeners have to do funny things. I like it.
No, that's you know what? That's going on the wheel. Become legal guardian of that 6-year-old.
We were watching the football game yesterday on NFL Network. They don't have as good of sponsors as like CBS and Fox. And one of the ads that kept running was for adopting a teenager. I'm like, there's no 30-second spot in the world that's going to convince me to adopt a teenager. That's insane.
Let's bring in somebody else's problem right into the middle
Right.
of my house to live
Have you
with
seen
me.
that? The guy who plays Shazam's just like, hey, you could be a superhero by adopting a teen. Like, no, that's a terrible idea, sir.
Honestly, dude, I'm really pro adoption.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm just sitting to myself going, oh, what a good thing to do. And I'm going, oh, fuck no, all at the same time.
Yeah.
Guess what? The bad part of me wins out.
Uncle Sammy Poo again, another $5. People acting like Karen Brennan's out here trying to stop John's show at the Carlson. SMH.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's keep moving. Let's talk about a gentleman by the name of Andrew Joseph Bischoff, Carl.
Okay.
Now, he is a volunteer firefighter, and he's recently been suspended. Would you like to know why, Carl?
Yes.
He was suspended because he was trying to make some busy work for himself and started setting people's houses on fire. I believe he is accused of setting fire to 4 houses, one of them being his next door neighbors.
Yes. The next door neighbor and a family member down the road.
Yeah.
Was another one. Now, firefighters are often pyromaniacs. I think we've talked about this on the show before, where I grew up in Spencerport, New York. Our fire hall was burned down when I was a kid. And we had so many fires, volunteer fire department. We had so many fires in our village. There are just big plots of land where there used to be buildings all through the village of Spencerport. And it's funny because growing up, I just thought this would happen. Like buildings burned down a lot. And since I've grown up and left that place, I've yet to see places burnt. Well, there have been a couple in the city, but not like it was in Spencerport.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about like small towns. Shit burns down a lot.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
And you would think in a small town, like the fire department would be closer.
Well, they are. They're so close that they were in the building before it started burning. That's the problem.
All right. So here's the problem. I'm not going to get into the minutia of every detail of all 4 of these
finally
structures, but I will tell you this, Carl. They went and did an investigation after all of these fires, and they realized they were all intentionally set.
Yeah.
So then they just started looking at surveillance cameras around the area. This dumb fuck was on camera at all fucking 4 of them.
Dude, I hope this kid grows up and learns how to not get caught so easily, because that's bad.
All fucking 4.
Well, also, did they check, was he in Hawaii? Do we know? What about Joe Biden's house? We had that kitchen fire. Was he there too?
He says he was in Jamaica.
Okay.
Carl, I find this really funny. He's no longer a firefighter. He is being charged with all sorts of arson. And to do it next door is a special type of dumb, isn't it?
I would imagine, yeah, because it could probably like set your house on fire, be some damage from it.
Yeah.
Plus, you're really close by, so
you want to keep up with the category of creepy kids.
Sure.
I got a 14-year-old who's got a bit of a problem.
Okay.
Down in Alabama, he's a 14-year-old. He had a hit list of members of his family he wanted to kill, and he's been arrested after he confessed to shooting dead his 17-year-old brother.
Dude, you got to just be able to memorize the family members you want to kill.
Yeah.
Never write it down. Just memorize it.
I mean, writing it down is dumb, but then could you imagine how stupid you sound as you're writing it down? It's like, okay, number 1 on my list, Mom. No, wait. Bill. No,
brother.
Brother.
Yeah.
Then Uncle Steve. You're an idiot. Don't write it down.
Or work it out on a whiteboard and then erase it. But you got to memorize that list, sir.
Whiteboards can be integral to facilitating crimes.
Correct.
Folks. Just use a whiteboard. Carl's right. Now, this incident took place in Pike County in Banks, Alabama. The 17-year-old had been missing since Monday, but had not been reported to law enforcement because I don't know if you know this, down in Alabama, kids run around free range. So the parents weren't too concerned, if you know what I'm saying. Well, interviewing the 14-year-old who's not been named, he confessed to the murder, and according to Sheriff Russell Thomas, he told classmates he wasn't done. He stated his brother got up and staggered out of the residence and out the back door, where he then fell at the bottom of the steps. The other son, the unnamed one who shot him, dragged him about 60 yards to the back of the property, then called his friends and asked one of them to come help him murder the rest of his family and help him bury their bodies.
That's
And
a
he was
tough
like-
one because I don't want to turn on this guy. I don't want to be like, no, I'm not your friend anymore. You know what I mean? I want to
Yeah.
still be his friend.
I'd make up a lie. Mom, just put dinner on the table.
Sure. Yeah.
My
We're going to
aunt's coming
Jamaica.
over.
Sure. Yeah.
To Jamaica. The friend also stated that the 14-year-old had a hit list in his book bag of family members who wanted to kill him, made statements about wanting to shoot up the school. The father eventually discovered the body after he'd been called to pick up the boy from school, claiming that he was upset about his missing brother.
Yeah, I would be too. So normally when kids go around talking about how they're going to shoot up the school, it's a pretty funny joke that they're making and you can't take it seriously.
One of the funniest things.
One of the funniest things that kids can do these days in high school.
Don't do that.
But when you've already murdered your brother, I think you have to take that a little bit more seriously than I normally would.
Yeah, the sheriff also found out the boy had made what they terminated disturbing and threatening statements at the school the day of the murder. So he is being held, and there's a hearing scheduled next week to decide if he's going to be an adult or go as a juvenile. And either way, brother's dead. This kid made a list like an idiot. And, you give up. When you make a list, here's what you do, kids. This is why you're all stupid. When you make a list, right, you can't just make up a story about self-defense.
Right. Good
You
point.
can't just make up later that
Yep.
he came at me. He wouldn't share the Xbox, whatever the fuck it was. He got all the chocolate milk. Wherever you shot this fucking kid, you now made it look like, oh yeah, I'm a lunatic. Dummy. All right. Last story, Carl. You want to go to Australia?
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, an Australian man wants his name cleared, Carl.
Okay.
A gentleman by the name of Jaden Daniel Sabi. He's 32. He's been charged with 1 count each of grievous bodily harm, torture, deprivation of liberty, and robbery. Now, according to the police, on September 7th of 2020, Sobey and 2 other men broke into a 35-year-old man's apartment. They beat him up, punched him, kicked him. Investigators claim that the thugs had armed themselves with knives and proceeded to rummage through the victim's belongings. They took about $200 and his mobile phone. And that's not all.
Hold on a second. I would never steal a tracking device. Anything that uses GPS, I would leave at the scene of the crime. I don't know why this is so difficult for people.
Don't steal an iPad.
Yeah, don't steal a
Don't
computer.
steal a cell phone. Don't steal
It doesn't say how these guys got caught, but I'm just guessing. That could be it.
It doesn't help. Well,
stupid.
They made the man sit down on his couch, and he told the cops one of the crooks snarled at him and said, "You're not going anywhere until you cut your dick off."
Wow. So we pretty much said,
"Let's see that dick." Pretty much. But he also was like, "Thanks for the $200, but I need you to cut your penis off now in front of me."
Vinny, they don't have guns there, right? They have knives.
In Australia,
Yeah.
they do have knives.
They have knives. I don't know what would convince me to cut my own penis off. I would not do that. There's no level of, I mean, that is the most torture possible. So I don't know what these guys could do to him.
So here's a possibility that I'm going to float out here.
Yeah.
Because this guy Sobey's like, "Hey man, I may have robbed them, but I didn't make the guy chop his dick off."
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I'm going to throw this out here, and I don't want to victim blame.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'm going to victim blame a little
Let's
bit.
do it.
Here's a possibility. I want to turn into Daniel Craig from Knives Out right now. Here's the possibility. Is it possible that these men broke in after this man had already been trying to saw off his own penis?
And then he just tried to blame it on
So
one
they
of the guys.
made me do it when he realized this is preposterous. What am I doing? And I could blame it on these guys. It was like he was able to blame them because of the circumstances. Now, his story is that he was handed a serrated knife, and as these thugs watched, the man tried to cut off around 2 millimeters of his penis. Now, if I had bothered to learn the metric system, I would know how much of your penis that is, but it doesn't sound like much.
Well, 50% of yours, but yeah, it's not a lot.
Yeah. Oof, 50%.
It'd be right in the middle of your cock.
When the knife failed to have the desired effect because of a dull blade, he used the mobile phone as a hammer to smash the knife through to get the part off that they wanted off.
My favorite comment underneath this story.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote, whatever.
Whatever.
It's fine. It's
That
pretty
happened to
funny.
me twice. So Sobey, he's out on bail. He pled not guilty, and he did not enter any other pleas in this, and he says he's going to take this to trial. And on Wednesday, he was handed down 12 months probation after pleading guilty to other charges, including driving under the influence of drugs and possessing dangerous drugs and drug utensils.
It does seem unlikely that this guy would make someone cut their penis off when they've broken into the house. Now, Vinny, we do have one more super chat.
Oh, good.
If you guys have any more other super chats, let's get those in. We're trying to wrap things up. Daniel Adams for $2. I got drunk and missed the live again. Alcoholism. Fix that. Stop being alcoholism.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have enough alcoholics in my life right now.
Do we have, by any chance,
What do you need?
do we have a suggestion or two that we're going to add to the wheel? Did we find something people put in to our comment section?
All right, guys. We
that
got to
we
decide
liked?
right now.
I don't know if you saw something as we were going.
I think you should cut off your penis.
Okay, that's one. That's one I probably won't get to anytime soon.
Oh, what did I do? Oh, my God. I'm sorry, guys. That was my fault. All right, let's look at this. We got to make some decisions here.
Yeah, we do.
What are we going to change here?
I feel like we had some good ones before, but
I don't want to let Carl off easy, kids. So I'm looking. Carl, do you see any here?
be the biscuit in the game of soggy biscuit. Probably not going to do bukkake as a consequence.
How do you feel about driving to Tom Myers restaurant?
No, we're not driving to Baltimore.
How about this? How about you have to spend it? How about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Instead of doing the 2-hour no guess, you have to listen to 3 of Tom Myers' 4 stand-up albums back to back with no guests.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
But you'd probably have to do that on the Patreon because he'll copyright strike you for playing this
That's
shit.
true.
But we'll put it out there so that'll be on Patreon and open so you could go over there and watch it.
Okay. So there's an idea. And then the other idea was 2 hours with the same song on a loop and no guests or something like that? Or
Yeah.
what did you want to do?
Yeah, I said that, but that's very similar to this. I'm going to go
That's true.
Tom Myers stand-up torture.
Okay.
That's pretty awful.
That sounds really bad.
Yeah, that I should make you do 12 hours of it like I had to do for terrible podcasts. All right, I got one more open space, folks.
Was it 12 hours or I think it was
According to some people, 11 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't think that's accurate. I'm looking for suggestions, folks. Give me something good. What should we do?
Impregnate your spouse.
Fuck no. Let's see.
Get braces.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Call your mother a cunt. How about that? Can we put that on there? You have to call your mom a cunt.
I think I did that in Philly when she told Dick Masterson about Wicket.
Oh, shit. Solo guest host. Yo, remember the 90s. Hard pass.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Huh.
Someone wrote drink less.
Oh, yeah. How about you're not allowed to have a drink for a week?
That's fine.
No alcohol for a week.
That's fine.
Okay. Can you do that?
Sure.
Are you going to get the shakes?
I think I'll be all right.
Okay. That's not fun then. If you were getting the shakes, I'd be in on that.
Set up a dunk tank at the comedy club and live stream. We talked about doing that at DabbleCon. We wanted to get Chad in there. I'm trying to remember who we were going to put in there.
Oh, man. Here's one. 2 hours of girls farting videos. That would be
God.
fun. Must do No Nut November.
Oh, wow. That would be really hard to police, I think.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Nail your penis to a wooden chair.
Yeah, I'm not Steve-O.
Steve-O would do it.
I know.
How about this? Simple. Loser has to watch The Last Jedi 3 times in a row.
Oh, God. That's terrible.
Okay, that's the winner. Last Jedi. Carla, Last Jedi 3 viewings. You can watch that awesome part where the lady from Jurassic Park saves everyone over and over again.
That movie sucks.
Sure does.
All right.
So, Carl, those are your choices. Those are your consequences, unless you land on winner's choice or pass the spin. Are you ready to come over here and give this a spin?
Let's do it.
All right, come on. All right, folks. Carl's coming on over. I know my face is jarring to see that large. Sorry, everybody. Carl, spin that wheel, bitch.
Rooting for an 8. We need an 8.
All right, let's see what number 2 is. Stand-up set written by Cardiff. I guess I'll tell you what. You want to do your stand-up set written by Cardiff at subreddit Surfing Live, Carl? It's fine by me.
Okay.
That's fine by me. I'll take it.
That's a long ways off, though. People are not going to like that.
That's fine, but at least we'll know where it'll be done, when and where, and Cardiff will give time to write your set for you. Now, I want to, before we get out of here, I know you got to go, Carl.
Yeah.
Real quick, I need to thank Becky Lane for this beautiful,
nice. Thank you, Becky.
Cross Point creep off logo that she made me. This is wonderful. I got your letter. Thank you so much. I really love it. I've never thought I would be hanging cross stitch in my studio, but here we are. It's going to go back there somewhere. I truly thank you for that. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for watching the Creep Off. It's been a great week. Carl, his consequence will be paid off on March 9th here at Comedy at the Carlson. That's a pretty fun one, actually. Cardiff has got to be have a massive boner right now.
How long is the set going to be?
See what he comes up with.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to see more than like 3 to 5 minutes. I mean, I'm thinking like a regular set, like an open mic set is appropriate. Good luck with Anthony Cumia's show today. Watch that on Compound Media. Go support Carl.
Thank you. Yes, Twitch Moosin.
Why don't you give that Anthony Cumia the creep off bump, guys? Give him the creep off bump.
Twitch Moosin. That's me. I made that in our chat right now.
That was you, Twitch Moosin? You're the greatest. Thank you.
Thank you.
I held it upside down like an idiot. Carl, it is nice to be important.
It's more important to be nice.
Good gear. We'll see you next week.
It's the Creep Off.